All right, welcome to episode 96 of My FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's video content, there's RSS.com has a transcript for those who like to read along and print it out. Spotify.com has video and audio. Who else? Oh, there's one I'm forgetting. So anyway, we'll focus on YouTube. I'm sure you can probably hear. So I'm watching a different channel, and I cannot totally mute this channel or it will shut off. So, I'm always watching Iraqi TV. So, all right. Anyway, YouTube, if you are listening to this on YouTube and you want to see the articles, especially because I only focus on what's important to me in the articles, and there may be other points that are more poignant for you, pertinent. So that's why I always say you should go to the blog, which you can find at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, possibly myfxbuddies.com if you use HTTP as in Paul, S as in Sam. What else? Anywhere you are listening or watching this, there's a description, info, more, some type of box like that, some type of word like that. If you click on that, the link should be there. Rumble.com, my FX Buddies, is where the video is hosted. But again, if you go to the blog, everything is there all in one place. All right. 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes exactly. Okay, so that I'm going to try to keep that to 2 minutes so people who want to skip that can just go fast forward to 2 minutes and you don't have to hear it. But you never know, this may be someone's first time listening, right? So I have to tell them where they can find me or where they can tell their friends to find me if they so choose. All right. So it is Sunday and I am back again because they put out a very interesting article, which I'm sure is a possibility they would like. But yeah, good luck with that. But also it's citizen education. So who knows what's going to happen this week? This week is going to be the 19th. Yes, it will actually start. The Arborine holiday will start this week. So it could be slow, it could be busy, who knows what. But this article, so let's get to the title. Government advisor Petro Dinar requires good stock of foreign currencies and gold. Well, we grew up with petrodollar, right? And then later we heard what yuan dollar, right? Not too much. You don't hear that too much. But now, Petro Dinar. And mind you, there's other countries that use dinar too, right? But for this, it is Iraq. And the gentleman that they let bring out this information is none other than the Prime Minister's advisor for Financial Affairs, Muhammad Salih. So he explained today, Sunday, that the adoption of the dinar in pricing oil, or what is called petro-dinar, requires, first of all, the availability of foreign reserve currencies or gold, as Russia did when it purchased Russian oil with gold-backed rubles, which caused problems that we will discuss later. Yeah, and you know what that is, right? It's not equal if every country isn't using a gold-backed whatever their currency is. It's not equal, right? So that is that. But look, so there's a short version of this, and then there's a really long version. And I know it can be challenging for some, but if you care to, I know not everyone's going to care, but some people are really going to like this information. Try to read the long one. I spent a good amount of time reading this long one because this was the one, excuse me, this was the one that I came across first. And if you read the Bible and you've ever read the Amplified Bible, I don't know. To me, it just seems like it just has extra unneeded words, right? But that's how I would consider this. But, so that's me, and I have reading comprehension. Wow, that plane's flying really low. All right, anyway, my window's open, of course. Okay, so let's see. And that is the title of the blog also. Government advisor Petro Dinar requires good stock of foreign currencies and gold. So let's see what else. So it says a press statement, but the channel that I'm watching is not the one that shows the interviews and stuff. So I don't know if he came on. I don't know if they interviewed him on TV. But I bet you they will be talking about this week on their TV shows. So let's see. I actually prefer the longer version. And this is just a possibility, right? It's a possibility of using the dinar. I guess one day they will, but not anytime soon. Not in the next 3 years, I believe, right? Okay, so Salah said in an interview, there it is. See, he was interviewed. With the adoption of the dinar in the pricing of oil, or what is called petrodollar, especially when the national currency is not one of the international reserve currencies, requires the availability of foreign reserve currencies or gold, as Russia did when it bought Russian oil with gold-backed rubles, which caused problems that we will come to later. So, see, the short one left out international, right? So that's why I'm saying, if you can stomach it, read the longer version. So they're saying, and we've been told, if you listen to, I listen to, that eventually the dinar will be a reserve currency, right? So then that's when they can, but it would just be too much, I'm going to say juggling, for lack of a better word. But and especially the way oil is manipulated, right? We know the price of oil is manipulated. Well, I believe that after watching it all these years. And plus, if Saudi Arabia can come out and say, we like the price of oil at $80 per barrel, then that tells you it's manipulated. But anyway, so they would need gold, and you never know, we might get there. Some people think we are, as a world, going to go back to gold-backed currencies. I don't think so, but not because there's not enough gold, but because that would lead to transparency. It would lead to transparency and accountability that the people who run the world don't want, right? So that's more of where I'm coming from on that. So it says these foreign reserves must be available as a necessary condition. And now see, that got a little loud, didn't it? But that is, they're showing the people that are traveling, that are walking to that shrine where they'll ultimately have their celebrations. All right, so linking oil sales to the dinar on a fixed basis with oil prices instead of the foreign reserve base means linking the dinar to the oil asset cycle first. So right there's two things that are not stable. The dinar is fluctuating, right? Except on the CBI. and then the price of oil fluctuates. So you can see the issues they have with it. So the demand for the dinar for accounting purposes would certainly fall, and the dinar will be exchanged for oil in larger quantities. And the demand for the Petro Dinar will be lower and vice versa. So there's a lot in here, good information, and you guys probably don't even remember there was a period where Russia did sell oil and gold. I think it was like 6 months, 3 months or 6 months, and I think they're going to do it again. It was successful for them, but that's because they can, well, whatever. I'm not here to talk about that. All right. So the global oil market will control the fluctuation of the local currency, which they don't want, right? They want to control their own currency, not the global oil market, which can be thrown into a tizzy by geopolitical things, conflict, right? The three-letter word that should be used there. So, it's not a good time to do that now, right? So then he talks about single price theory. Yeah, they would need consistent oil prices, not fluctuating. So I think this is the last. So yeah, here's the last paragraph, but I'm not even going to read the full paragraph, just this portion here. He added, the strength and stability of the Iraqi dinar will remain linked to the factors of real growth and diversity in the national economy. In addition to achieving an appropriate surplus in the current account of the balance of payments and linking the national currency to a basket of foreign currency. Thought we got away from that, right? I'll read that again. And linking the national currency to a basket of foreign currencies that provide stability in the value of the dinar itself. So, sounds like they plan to depeg from the dollar. But this is a possibility. Don't read into that this is going to happen. It's a possibility and probably what they eventually want. But as long as oil, is how it is, it would not be a good idea, in my opinion, and it sounds like his too. All right, so here the environment is fertile for investment and solid global companies. Parliament is optimistic about the government and is monitoring their work. They need to be monitored, right? All investment companies operating in Iraq are solid and international. I don't believe that. And have many businesses in different countries. Any company operating in Iraq works according to specifications, and its file is audited, and all its previous business in different countries are reviewed. Yeah, maybe going forward, right? Maybe like in the last 2 months, but before that. So they did more projects, more streets being paved. All right, controlling 80% of currency smuggling in Iraq, 6 qualitative strikes paid off, and the efforts continue. So this is Parliamentary Security and Defense Committee revealed today, Sunday, the secrets of 6 qualitative strikes, which means 6 plans that the CBI put forth, right? And let's see. Smuggling hard currency in all its form is a drain on the country's economic capabilities and leads to pressure on the markets by raising exchange rates, which leads to an increase in prices. There are efforts being made to combat that. 6 operations took place in the past months. Let's see, which bore fruit. But smuggling has not completed, right? So mostly it's digitizing everything, digitizing the banks, because that leads to tracking, right? So they think that reduces money laundering. Yeah, and that's mostly what they focus on, digitization. So lots of that. And remember, who said that? Um, Yasser, whatever, that economic expert. What did he say? We need media and I forget what they use because I call it programming and brainwashing. But media and the culture, changing the culture or something like that. So we're going to start to see more articles come out about digitization, right? And if for any other reason, that would be why I would post it so you could see it. Because that's what they're doing to us right now, right? I mean, every uh, political cycle, what starts happening? All these ads, right? Because it's programming. Trust me. Go with what I'm saying, right? So it's done everywhere. And the more I look at a lot of Egyptian news, now Saudi Arabian news. They're actually reading a book, an American book, the day, shoot, it's like the day that everything in the world ended. But it's from 1999, and it talked about how globalism leads to um, product production issues. And I just thought it was interesting. I'm like, wow, they are reading that? All right, anyway. Economist identifies weaknesses in banking system. Oh, but my point was the more global news that I look at, I see the programming's used everywhere. All right. Economist identifies weaknesses in banking system, 80% of money supply in citizens' homes, and it's urgent. So you could read that. It pretty much says the same thing. It's messing with the citizens' purchasing power, the rise in income levels after 2003 due to the increase in salaries led to an increase in purchasing power. So they talk about liquidity. So you might want to read that if you're interested in issues like that. It talks about where they were and where they are now. Okay, this trade discusses the mechanism for Iraq's ascension to World Trade Points Federation. This is not the WTO. You can even look it up, but not even that. It tells you right here. This is headed under Swiss laws and started in 2000. So this is a different. This union includes more than 74 countries. I think the WTO has more than that, including 6 Arab countries. So this is another world, right, organization that Iraq will probably get in, which will then help them obtain their ascension to the WTO. And there still has been nothing about Iraq joining, right? Nothing about that. However, China is suing the EU through the World Trade Organization because of some disagreement there. So yeah, just, wanted to put that out there. Iraqi government issues new decisions. So they did their Council of Ministers meeting that they normally do on Tuesdays. They did it today on Sunday. And I normally don't post this, but they actually have some things. Here's the strategy aims to stimulate the growth of the Iraqi private sector. Blah, blah, blah. If you want to read that. But then also, and see here, they're talking about some stuff in the general budget law. But here's a short little version of what they did that if you may only care about this portion here. and that is under Cabinet Approved New Strategy for Bank Lending. So if you want to read that, that's there. And also look at this. They want foreign and local investors to finance nearly 100,000 projects. So they got a whole lot of things they want to get done. All right, and then we're done here, except I do want to show you the government's Twitter page, because I always talk about it, but I never show you guys it. So they have an article, Money Laundering, Iraq is far from the gray list. And they've had international mutual evaluation. And again, here's a short version, and here's a long version if you want to read about that. And then here is one military article, Blinken begins new round of Middle East hopes, right? So that's there at the very bottom if you want to read that. All right. So, the Twitter. So they are at Iraqi government. The at sign, Iraqi government. And I suggest following them, not because there's going to be any information about the RV, but they'll show you, and actually it will translate. So if you click on this, then it says translate post, and then it tells you what that post is about. But that's what I wanted to show you. The reason you should is because, is this gonna be, no. Here's one, here's a project they're doing, and they have, it looks like drone footage to me. And they show you, see there he is laying the foundational cornerstone, whatever. But they do that a lot. Here's another one of another project. So it's just interesting. Well, I think it's interesting, and I think you might think it's interesting. So yeah, again, that is at Iraqi, G as in George, O, V as in Victor, T as in Tom, and that is on what I still call Twitter, and you probably call X. All right. So, let's see what this week brings us. Some people are really anticipating some things. I think it's going to be slow because of the holiday and all the people, all the visitors that are there. But either way, if I come across anything I feel is post worthy, I will post it. And that's why I say wherever you are enjoying this content, if there's a follow, join, subscribe, some button of that type, do whatever action it takes to activate that, because I don't update regularly. So when I do update, if technology works as it is intended to, you will know. So with that, I will say, accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. And don't let anyone distract you from your, what did you get in this for? Was it for you? Was it for your grandchildren? Right? Was it for maybe some foundation that when you pass, that's where you want everything to go? Focus on that. So when the naysayers try to make you feel disillusioned or just bring you down, you can just let it roll off of you, right? You are on a mission, right? And focus. And that's why I make these videos, to try to help people stay on your mission. Stay focused, right? We're all, we're, we're all just waiting, and we all know we have no control in this whatsoever, right? So I want you to stay involved, learn about what you're holding, and dream big, as someone that I hold very dear to my heart says. All right, So, thank you for listening. Oh, I forgot to say this is Sunday, August 18th. This might post for Monday. It's late enough that if there's a delay, it may post. But all of this news that I read came out today, August 18th, in Iraqi news. All right, thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. And thank you. And until next time.